Being a single mom and doing it all by yourself is brutal. Learn the brain and energy tools to get back to your center and overcome your challenges.
Welcome to Single and Doing It All. This is your host, Murielle, and today we are going to talk about emotional healing and shining your divine light. And I have a treat for you because my guest is a powerful healer. Before I bring her on to the screen, I want to let you know a little bit of who she is. Her name is Aparna Vermuri, and she's an inner alchemy facilitator and a success trainer. As a healer, she helps people from all walks of life to heal issues around health and emotions. And as a successful coach and trainer, she gently guides them to connect with their inner guidance so that people can change, and they can see the change they want to see in their world and shine their divine spark out. Welcome to our show. How are you today?
I'm doing so good, Murielle. Thank you so much for inviting me to this group, because yesterday we celebrated Women's Day, and today I am here with your amazing group who are striving to be the best as a single mom. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here.
Oh, thank you for being here. Before we go and we talk about healing, I would love it if, and my image is fuzzy, but that's okay, we'll continue. I would love it if you could tell us a little bit about your story and how you became such a powerful healer and coach.
Thank you. I was like, I became a healer by hearing the word Reiki for the first time. It's almost 21 years back. Wow. So I witnessed somebody getting healed over the phone in 5 minutes. So I felt like that is magic. So I decided to learn that magic and do all the magic, be a magician. But actually getting into Reiki helped me to open up to the spiritual realms so beautifully. So I have been in connection with all the spiritual masters, angels, and they are guiding me in every walk of my life. So whatever I am right now, that is because of this powerful Reiki.
That's beautiful. I know what Reiki did for me, and it also opened some channels, especially with energy and intuition. But having this kind of experience that you had, it's really something that it comes from above. You were meant to do that, and they let you know, and you didn't have a choice almost.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
So it is your destiny to help people heal.
Yeah, but when my master said that you are chosen by Reiki, I was like, how can Reiki can choose me? Because I paid the money and I left my kid under the guidance of someone else and I came to learn the Reiki. Then how come Reiki chooses? So it's so funny at that moment. But yes, I am so glad that I was chosen by Reiki and have been given the guidance to do all the stuff that I'm doing.
That's fabulous. That's really great. Yeah. And as far as the coaching side, what made you decide to start coaching as well? Because you can do energy healing without coaching. I sometimes have clients that just want energy.
Yes. So what happened was when I was doing the healing to one of my clients, suddenly she said, like, you are the best coach. I didn't realize that I've been coaching her. I thought I'm doing the healing, but I never thought that I'm doing the coaching too. Then I thought, oh, this is very amazing. Maybe I need to explore my coaching skills if I am fit to be a coach. So I learned and get certified as a coach. Then she said, like, you are the best therapist. I thought, wow, this is another title I have. So that's how my coaching also started. So once I get into the I mean, once I got the skills of coaching, I thought maybe I should combine both healing and coaching so that it is really helpful for my clients to get into the best they can.
Yes, I so agree, because that's what I do too.
Mhm.
So I define myself more as a coach than a healer, but I always infuse healing in my coaching.
Yeah, that's the advantage of having a healing as a background. And so that, see, what happens is if you coach without any healing, they may not get the essence because they may be carrying a lot of emotions behind, which they may not be conscious of it. So, as a healer, you can work on their subconscious mind and clear the stuff. So that's the added advantage being a
And do
healer.
you find that when you're coaching, sometimes because you're kind of channeling at the same time, you get some stuff and you don't even know after fact what you said, because it's almost was like it wasn't you.
That happens, that it really happens for me, especially when I do the group calls, because I do a healing relationship class where I go into the past life and do the stuff. Sometimes I don't remember what I'm saying. So when I always advise my clients, like, okay, whatever I said, don't ask me the questions unless you give me the gist of what I said. I cannot connect what I told then. So it's, yeah, I totally agree with that. You will be in
Yes,
a different realm when you do the healing.
it is. It is,
Yes.
because even with tapping, for me, I don't script my tapping. I just let it come, and sometimes the exact image come for this exact person.
Mhm.
But when that happens, I love seeing the transformation.
Yes,
Uh,
that's true.
I know I said we would probably talk a lot about self-love, but you just said something that rang to my ear, because you talked about past lives, and I think that would be, I would love to know, you're talking about past life and relationships. Do you believe that our kids, the relationship with our children, can also be influenced with past life? And also, I have my opinion about that, but I want yours. Influenced by past lives, and that we can somehow either reproduce the same kind of uh, mistakes that we made in that life, or correct it in this life.
That's a very interesting question for me because I have seen both ways. Like, kids are influenced from their actions in the past life too. But if you have some connection with your parents in this life that has the root from the past life, you, as a unit, the parents and kids together experience they need to learn the lessons that they need to learn. Otherwise they cannot get over that and move to the next level. So definitely they have, it doesn't matter if they're kids or parents, they all have past life connections. That's why we are born to a particular unit of family where we all agree to learn our lessons together and move on to the next level. So our journey, our life is like a grade. So each grade, to pass the grade, you need to learn the certain lessons. Once you learn the lessons, go to the next grade. Similarly in
Yeah.
our life too.
And that's funny, because when you take the test for the lesson, if you don't pass it, it becomes a harder and harder test every time.
Yes, it will be
And
like a blow on your face
oh,
and asking you to pay attention to learn the lesson. Then only you can move on to the next one.
yes. And actually, you said something, because in one of the previous episodes, I talked about fear regarding our kids, and I personally had a fear of my kids dying. And it was completely overreacting. Every time they were going outside, I was thinking about it. And as I went in a regression in a past life, I saw that I lost my son in a past life. So that's, I brought the fear with me in this life. And it was clear for me what my lesson was. But I never thought about the other side of it, about my kids' lessons in what I was doing. So thank you for bringing that up, because it's not always obvious to us.
That's true. I will give you one example if you want to know about this. See, I have a client. She asked me, the situation for her is like her son don't talk to her. He was like 10th grader or so. So there is always friction in the family. The whole family has some friction. Yeah. Mother and daughter has, mother and father has, and kids, all the family is like a whole mess. So when they came for the healing, I mean for the past life healing relationship issues, so we did so many sessions for her. I could see the shifts happening at one level, but it's not reflecting in the physical level as such. But suddenly one day, when the son went to the college, out of the blue, he called his mom, and spoke so nicely. That's when she felt like, oh my God, is it my son who called me and spoke with me? I never thought that it's going to happen in this lifetime. This definitely happens if you allow the things to happen. Because we already sow that seed in the past. That seed we need to look into and clear the issues around.
Yes.
In that life, they made a lot of things together that brought to this friction in this life. So they want to clear the issues in this life so beautifully, and now they are like a good friends. So it may make me so happy to see that.
Yes. That's beautiful. I know that personally, and with clients, I also sometimes there is nothing you can do as far as actions, because especially if you have teenagers, I have teenagers, so I see how they react to my suggestions. They don't want to know, they don't want to do what I say. End of the story. So sometimes I used to feel powerless, but then I realized that there is the energy side of the story. So I started to work on my energy, connecting with their energy. Yes. Of course, always asking for the permission, because I don't want to violate anything. But just doing that and tapping at the same time while sending love to my son, for example, changed the way he responded to me in real life. I mean, the energy is real, but in the physical life. So the example that you mentioned is also like that, where we have, even when we think we're powerless, we still have power in the energy world. And when we do things just to heal, without even expecting a certain outcome, because sometimes it may not come, I don't know, it depends on them, it's still power. What do you think is the first step? And before I ask you this question, I just want to acknowledge Lakshmi said it's so nice to be here, so it's nice to have you. And the thing I wanted to ask was, for somebody who has never done anything with energy, what would you tell them to do to start making their relationship with their children, for example, smoother? Like maybe an energy practice that is very simple, or something simple that they can do regularly to start clearing all that energy and all that past maybe that they're dragging with them.
Okay, the simple thing I would suggest to anybody who doesn't have any connection with that or any understanding of energy work is very simple. First, you need to know that you have something going on at emotional level. Once you realize and define or name the emotion, here I'm going to give you a simple but effective tip. Yes. Name the emotion. Just write the name, say it as anger or frustration, whatever it is. So write each letter separately and then close your eyes for a couple of seconds and then start writing whatever comes first in your head when you think of the first letter. For example, let's say it's anger. Okay, A-N-G-R. So when you think of A, what is the first word that strikes in your head? Let's say anti. So just put anti. N, naughty. G, great. E, emotion. R, rage. Now look, what are the negative words you have?
Wow.
Then do another round. If you think you keep on repeating the same negative thing again and again, give a break. Go out for a walk or do something else and come back and again do the stuff again. Like look at ANGR. This time see what else comes to you. Do this till you get all the positive words. And before you do this, rate your intensity level, and after this, rate the intensity level. You will be surprised to see how the energy shifts for you.
Wow, that's
Yes.
I've never heard that anywhere, and that's amazing. It's really a great tool because stuff can come from your subconscious mind that we didn't even know we had.
Yes, it's really amazing. Only thing is you need to name your emotion rightly.
Yes.
It's like whether it's a rage, anger, frustration, anything. Pick anything and start writing.
And when people, because sometimes people are not exactly sure about the emotion that they feel. I know I coach women, but sometimes I have men too. And not to make a generalization, but sometimes it's harder for them to know exactly what they feel because they're not trained. They've been trained to boys don't cry, boys don't do this and do that. So they're not really connected. What do you do if somebody is not sure about what he or she feels?
Then I would suggest them to go and look into the mirror, look into the eyes, and say, I love you, whoever you are,
Oh, yeah.
however you are, whatever you are.
Mirror affirmations are so powerful.
Yes.
So now we can talk about my favorite subject, self-love.
Yes, of course.
To send yourself some love and to also become aware of what's coming in your mind when you say I love you, because at the beginning you will have all that craziness, nonsense that comes. I cannot love myself because I'm overweight, or I cannot love myself for whatever reason, and it's really mirroring, for lack of a better explanation, what you feel about yourself. Talking about self-love, what is your definition of self-love? Because many people are not really aware of what of their definition, how to love themselves, what it means for them.
So self-love, because people often get confused with self-love and self-care. Mm-hmm. They think that, okay, I'm taking massage, I'm doing good. That's a self-care. You might say that I'm going out for a walk and I'm maintaining my healthy body. That's self-care. But self-love is simply accepting the whole of you with all your negativity, with all your vulnerabilities, with all your negative thing, whatever it is. So you have to accept the whole of you, whether it's a beauty or ugly, whether it is perfect or imperfect, whether it's a liar or a cheater, or if it is a perfect person, whatever it is, you need to accept the whole of you. Unless you accept the whole of who you are, see, you have a saying like, unless you have something, you cannot donate anything to other people, right? So unless you have love within yourself, how can you share it with others?
Yes. If you're not full of it, you have nothing to give. And you can do self-care in the name of self-love because you love yourself, so you go and do those things for yourself. But it starts with radical self-acceptance, I would say.
Yeah, you have to completely accept who you are. Then you can do all this with love rather than maintaining the social norms or social whatever it is. So unless it comes from within, you cannot really enjoy what you are doing.
So one practice of self-love that you do in your life, what do you do on a regular basis to love and accept yourself?
I meditate.
Yes.
I love meditation because that's where I really feel the love within me, because we all are made in the image of God. So God resides within us. So that is love. So you have to connect with that. The another simple thing I do is before I go to bed, I simply look into the eyes of myself in the mirror and say simply, I love you. Whatever you did today, you did awesome.
That's funny. I have a mirror next to my bed where I decorated the mirror because this is my self-love mirror where I'm not allowed to criticize myself. I put some feathers on it. I really went crazy. And I do that too. And it's like saying good night, saying I love you to a beloved. You are the
Yeah,
beloved. Yeah,
yeah.
it's so beautiful. We're going to make a break. And for those who are listening on audio, if you want to be part of the studio audience, like my coach would say, even though it's Facebook, you can come and join us on Facebook next time. You just, you can be notified. You go to my website, Single and Doing It All. And, or even better, come on the Facebook page, Your French Life Coach, and just put a comment, notify in this live, and you will be notified next time. But we'll be back in a few minutes. So we are back with Aparna, and we were talking about self-love. One question I had for you was, how would you start teaching self-love to kids?
Oh, that's amazing question because I have one kid in the home. So, see, you have to start self-love to kid when they are very young. So whatever they do, without giving any judgmental comments, you have to appreciate what they are doing. In a subtler way, you have to give them the guidance too, whether it is right or wrong. And also, you need to tell them that every day it's better to appreciate one other person who did great. Yeah, without
And
giving any, no judgments, whatever,
no judgments.
no
Yes.
judgment.
And I know it's easier said than done sometimes when you're in the midst of what's going on.
Yeah, and I teach them to appreciate other people, especially their own peer, because unless they start appreciating the other person, they may not be able to like divide off the jealousy. So if their friends are like doing really good in at school or having some extra money than what they can have, that's when they can feel jealousy. So you need to teach them that it's okay to have extra money, but whatever you have is good enough to enjoy your own life and to some extent share also. Even
Yeah.
if you don't have anything in your hand, just go there and be there for someone else.
Yes.
So if you keep on teaching these things at a very early age, they start having self-love because it helps them to build their self-esteem.
Yes.
So they can have that self-love.
Especially when you give, because when you give, sometimes the pleasure, the reward of giving is bigger for the person that gives than the person that receives.
Of course.
And being aware of that, it will develop the generosity in you as well. And it's so important. And by the way, I want to acknowledge you for your generosity because I know you referred the client to me and we hadn't even met. So just to let my audience know that she's walking her talk. She's a very generous and kind person herself.
I'm so happy because I was looking for someone who can really help her because I know I cannot help with the issues she has. I can heal her, but she kept on doing the same thing again and again. So I thought someone really needs help her. So I found you.
Thank
Everything
you.
worked out.
I love it. Everything is really orchestrated from above, even when we talk about being a single mom, because a lot of my clients are struggling, and I know because I've been where they were. with fear and anxiety, but remembering that everything is orchestrated from above will bring some kind of inner peace. What could you tell people about dealing with fear and anxiety? Would you have like a small tool that you could share, or an approach?
If they are willing to do meditation with me, I can guide a small meditation if it works out. If it's not, then I would suggest them the best thing they can do is journaling.
Journaling, yeah, that's powerful.
Because if you start writing, you can bring out different layers that are there inside. It's like peeling the onion. So you have so many layers around that needs to be addressed. Yeah, outside you may say it's a fear and anxiety, but deep inside there may be so many hurts and pains that needs to be addressed. For that, you need someone to hear that, or some way to let it out. So the best way to let it out is journaling.
And that's funny that you talked about the onion, because I describe it. I'm French, and the onion was disturbing me. And then I had the image of the artichoke coming to me, because I love artichoke. And the artichoke is the perfect example, because you remove one leaf after another, and then you get to the best, which is the heart.
Yes.
So it's the same in life. You will remove layers, and then your perception changes, life becomes easier. So it's really the perfect example.
Yeah.
Before we part, if there was one thing you wanted to leave the audience with, or I don't know, a suggestion, anything, before we part, if you wanted to tell them something, what would it be?
It's like just divide the word present, present. If you divide, it's like present. So every thought you are having right now, it's like a present thought to your future.
Oh, that's
So if you want to be awesome and if you want to live a happy life, think that it is happening right now, so that you are creating that in your future.
beautiful. That's very beautiful. If people want to know more about you or work with you, where can they find you? And I'll put that in the description as well.
Yeah, it's a personal transformation pathways. That's where they can find me. And I'm so honored to be here, because it's all the empowering women, and they are trying to be the best, being a single mom, and trying to be the best persons, and trying to make their impact in this beautiful world. And I honor all of them. And I want to thank you also for bringing me up here. It's so awesome.
It was my pleasure, and I love the tools you shared. Some I've never heard about it, and I'm going to start applying them myself. So thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, share your feedback. I love to hear about those tools.
I will.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
for our audience, that concludes our episode today. We'll be live next week with another episode, and I don't know yet what it's going to be. This one was a bonus, because it's really like a treat for you. And I'm glad I did it, because it was really like a treat. So
Thank you. Thank you, Murielle.
you're welcome. I'll see you. We are live every Thursday at 7 p.m. here on the Facebook page, or you can find us on iTunes and everywhere you find audio podcasts. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see each other next time.
Thank you.